Hello and welcome to BQ Pram. I'm Hiral Daria. Overall, if you see in terms of where markets go, there is some bit of somberness, though we've just managed to get back into the green with gains of minor 18 to 19 points, but maintaining the 19,400 mark as we speak. Bank Nifty, though, is still in the negative with cuts of 130 points, and a lot of stock specific action that we are seeing specifically in the large cap space in today's session. To discuss more, joining us on the show is Ajit Mishra, VP at Religare. Ajit, good afternoon, and welcome to the show. I beg your pardon.
Good afternoon, Hiral. Thank you for having me.
Always a pleasure. Ajit, let's start with the HDFC twins. Lot of action that we have been witnessing since morning, and clearly, traders are squaring off positions as well on both these counters. Towards the end of the day now, what is the open interest addition suggesting both on the long and the short side?
So, Hiral, both these counters along with the other, banking and NBFC majors have helped the index to inch to the new record highs and, maintaining the tone. Of late, yes, we are seeing a bit of uh, profit taking, I would say, in the both SDFC twins, but I doubt there'll be any meaningful correction even from the current levels because for both these counter, it was a very long consolidation, almost 2 year long, which have recently ended. It's a normal profit taking that we are seeing after that, recent surge. So we feel that closer to around 1650, 1640 when it comes to HDFC Bank, we'll again see started people looking for buying opportunity. And in the next leg, it could be closer to around 1750, 1800 would be the near-term target. Similarly, for the SDFC Limited also, since now it's closer to the D-Day. So 2750 it will be the area where it might take a breather, in line with what we are seeing in SDFC banks. So roughly around 2-3% kind of a more cut pressure that it may say. So if you are investor or in fact you can maintaining a view of, let's say, for a week or two also, you should maintain your long positions with the recommended levels, the support level as your stop losses.
Right. So overall, that's overall the view in terms of how you're expecting these two counters to perform. But if you can just throw some light in terms of what is the action looking like, at least in today's session, the reason why we are seeing this kind of profit booking today. I mean, is there any trend that you're picking up on the derivative data?
Not exactly. So, Hiral, as we have this news related to that SDFC will be out of from the Nifty 50 basket. It's a normal kind of a positional settlement that we are seeing right now. But otherwise, nothing is going to change as such. And plus, somehow we are seeing that it's kind of like a rotational buying across the sector also. So earlier, ICICI was sitting on the sidelines. Both SDFC Bank, they were doing well. Today, we were seeing that the ICICI was in the forefront, and we were seeing this profit taking in the SDFC twins. It's a kind of like a rotational buying that we are seeing within the sector also, which is causing these kinds of volatile swings. Otherwise, the overall tone looks positive.
Right, so that's with regards to where the HDFC twins go. Moving on, if you see in terms of the auto space, Bajaj Auto has seen a good spike right now, 5.5% up move. What should the strategy be?
So, in fact, the entire auto basket is buzzing. So, be it Maruti, Hero MotoCo, Bajaj Auto. Yes, Eicher is slightly on the back foot in the last two trading session. But otherwise, these names are doing exceptionally well. Bajaj Auto, it's trading at the record highs, seeing exceptional rise in the volumes with every uptick. We feel one should continue with the position, and since trading at the record highs, the upside is open. As a trader, I would recommend maintaining a stop at 27.25, which is the higher base now. So earlier we had this area as the previous swing high, so this should act as a support in case if we see any correction. So one should continue with the buy on dips approach when it comes to Bajaj Auto. In fact, if we are looking for a fresh long position, maybe any dip towards 48.40, 48.50 zone, one can look for fresh buying also.
Right, so that's with regards to where the auto companies go. Moving on, how are you looking at ITC, because some smart moves that did come in terms of where ITC was concerned in today's session. There is some bit of cooling off that's happened as well. What should the strategy be with an ITC?
Within the FMCG basket, Hidil, it's the one of the best performing stock, since the beginning of this recovery or the bull run that you can say. And we are still not seeing any sign of slowdown. So the stock has been holding very strongly the short-term averages, which clearly indicates momentum. And since it's trading at record highs, it's in uncharted territory, so the upside is open. But uh, considering the kind of consolidation that we had of late, now 460, 465 zone is going to be the immediate support area. So as a trader, your stop should be at 460, and let the stock move. So means if it witnesses any uptick towards, let's say, 500 plus zone, trail your stop loss to 470. So that is how one should trade the counter, especially those who are trading at the record highs.
Right. So that's with regards to where, where we've spoken of a few of the names already. Moving on, let's look at a couple of other counters in trade today. How are you looking at the banking space, and any top picks from your end from the banking universe?
So banking, it's almost like 6 months of 6 weeks of consolidation that we ended last week, and it's now largely aligned with the Nifty index, which was required, for any decisive swing. But I feel that after 2 days of move, it might witness a consolidation for a day or two also. But overall tone looks very positive. So, like as we were discussing that today we are seeing the SDFC twins slightly in the back foot, but we have the other names like ICICI Bank holding strong. Then we are seeing a bit of a recovery in Kotak also from the lower levels. So that tone will continue. So in case if somebody is looking for fresh position, any dip towards, let's say, 44,800, 44,900 zone when it comes to the banking index, one can look for fresh buying with 44,500 as a stop, and positionally 45,900 to 46,200 as a target. And when it comes to stock, ICICI is something that we can still vouch for, considering the fresh breakout that we have seen in the stock. And we believe that 1,060, 1,070 should be our positional target. And with the stop of 924, one can initiate fresh long even at the current level. And as a disclosure, we have recommended the same to our clients as well.
Right. Samvardhana Motherson and Colgate Palmolive, both these counters are seeing some long trades in today's session. What's your view?
So, Mothers and Sumi, yes, we are seeing strong traction since morning, and after the gap up, it's holding the gain. That is important. It's a very prolonged consolidation that we had in this stock, almost year-long consolidation, which has finally ended. So I feel that this momentum is here to stay, and gradually the stock may retest level close from 100 to 103. So one can continue to hold the longs, and with stop at 85, the risk reward is also favorable. So one can continue to hold the long position in Motherson. What was the other stock that you were referring to here?
Colgate Palmolive.
Yeah, so Colpal also it's a new record high, almost same year, like a year-long consolidation. 1,700 to 1,450 was the band. So after this consolidation breakout, I feel that the next stoppage could be close to around 2050, 2100 mark. So one can initiate fresh long also at current levels with 1670 as a stop, and 2050, 2100 is a positional target.
Right. Ajit, apart from that, if you look at a Dixon Technologies and a Godrej Consumer Products, Godrej Consumer, both these counters are seeing some short built up in today's session. What should the strategy be?
So Dixon, yes, one can look for booking profit in case if you are holding any existing position, because indications are pointing toward that this profit taking this down move that we are seeing, because the recovery was almost vertically from 2,800 to 4,700. It was almost 90-degree kind of a move that we have seen in the stock. It's normal to see these kind of corrective moves, and the stock may retrace to 4,900 levels also. But since the market tone is positive, we wouldn't recommend you to go short and look for shorting opportunities. But yeah, in case if you have an existing position, you can book profit at current levels and re-enter around 39 mark. Godrej CP, like any other FMCG major, is gradually inching higher. In fact, we have a fresh breakout in Godrej CP also. It's a very narrow range. Thousands is 30,080 was the band it was hovering in for last 2 3 weeks. So we have finally a decisive close today, and the volumes are also conducive. So expect this stock to retest the record high soon, maybe closer to around 1140-45. It may take a beater, but broadly the tone is likely to remain positive. So with stop at 1070, one can look for fresh buying even at the current levels.
Right. Moving on, let's look at few of the other names which are seeing some bit of action in today's session. How are you seeing a BHEL in trade today?
Yeah, BHL, it's a very decisive breakout. It'll almost 7 8 months of consolidation, and 65 to 90 was broadly the band. And today the volumes are almost like 8 crores. So on an average, it usually sees 2 3 crores kind of a volume. So almost 3 4 times of the average volume. It's a clear cut breakout. And now we feel that it should hold 88 mark, strongly in case if there'll be any profit taking. So that should be a stop. And as for the price pattern, maybe closer to around 105, 110 is something that the stock might test.
Right, so that's with regards to where BHEL goes. Moving on away from a BHEL, let's look at some other names in trade today, which are actually seeing some good OI built up as well in today's session. How are you looking at Exide Industries?
So Excite is in witnessing clear uptrend after the breakout from this 170 to 190 zone, and but now we feel that the upside seems capped because this zone 255 to 60 might result in some profit taking after the recent surge. So if you have existing trade, you should maintain a trailing stop at 240, and any uptick towards like 250 to 60 zone you should book profits.
Okay, so that's with regards to where Exide Industries go. Moving away from there, let's quickly talk about Nifty as well. Ajit, clearly, if you see the FI net long on the index futures, that's pretty close to its previous peak of almost 1 lakh, contracts seen on the 30th of November 2022. Firstly, what is that data indicating? And secondly, the PCROI has almost been flat at around 1.47 versus a recent peak of around 1.58. And you have the VIX, which is moving higher along with Nifty as well. So, if you take these broad points into consideration, how are you expecting the Nifty to move?
So honestly, the kind of move that we had from 18,600 to 19,400, it's almost vertical. Like there was hardly any pause. In fact, in the last two trading session, also we are not seeing any kind of a price damage. So it's a more of like the cooling of the data pointers that we might see during this consolidation phase. So as of now, indications are in the favor that the tone is likely to remain positive. But yes, considering that the data indicates slightly overbought, positions, so that may result in some consolidation in the market. But downside 19,200, 19,250 is a zone basically where we have the first level of defense. So as long as we are holding above this, one should not look for shorting opportunity. In fact, one can continue with the positional longs, and maybe closer to around 19,500, 550 could be the area where one can look for booking partial profits considering the recent surge. But otherwise, it's more of like a consolidation is what these data pointers are indicating.
Right. Apart from this, Ajit, any other stocks that come to your radar which someone should look at as well?
Yes, so almost all sectors are really contributing on rotational basis. It's only the IT which is left behind. But now we are seeing recovery in the IT pack also. And today, after very prolonged consolidation, almost like more than a year long consolidation has ended in Tech Mahindra. One can look for a fresh long position with 1140 as a stop in Tech Mahindra. Is currently quoting at 1180, and for the position target of 1240, 1280. Another stock which we like, from the reality space is DLF, seeing a consistent uptrend of late. There was a marginal retracement, but now the stock has reclaimed the major averages and it looks set for the next leg of up move. So with stop of around, let's say 488, one can look for fresh buying in DLF also for the position target of 515 to 520.
Right. So that's with regards to few of the topics coming in from Ajit. Thank you, Ajit, so much for joining us on the show and sharing those views as well and those recommendations so far. So that's with regards to strategies from the F&O space. But clearly, in terms of markets as well, it's an interesting day where we are seeing some bit of, pressure, but there is some mild recovery that has come in from the day's lowest levels of 339, which we just hit, and now we're above the 19,400 mark already as we speak. The advanced decline ratio also in favor of the bulls, and clearly you have the bank nifty, which has underperformed the benchmark indices in trade. In terms of stock specific action, you have a DV's Laboratories, which is seeing gains of 6%. Bajaj Auto on the launch of the two bikes is seeing some smart moves. HDFC Life, Hero Motor continues the upward journey. Maruti is up in trade, and this is on the again the unveiling of the price with regards to one of the vehicles. HDFC Twins have seen the maximum amount of pressure, followed by Aisha Motors, which has continued to correct UPL as well as the Tata Consumer, which has been trading under pressure. So a lot of stock specific action, a lot of action in the large cap space is what we've seen, and I think it's the mid cap and the small cap counters that have taken some bit of a breather, but clearly the action is prevalent. And it's interesting to see that in spite of the kind of deep cuts that we've seen, the markets have remained pretty much, on the flattish side, I would say. Though a recovery from the day's lowest levels has creeped in, and we've managed to stay afloat at 19,410. So clearly, that support of 19,400 is absolutely what the markets have been honoring so far. So interesting day of trade so far. Let's see how the weekly expiry pans out in tomorrow's session. It's going to be an interesting day of trade as well as we near the earnings season. That's all that we have on this session. Lots more lined up on the other side. Please stay tuned to BQ Prime and have a great evening.